We are just 2 weeks in, and the summer of Gronk has already been glorious. The life of the physically talented and mentally questionable tight end has become like one long reality TV show, and we can't help but watch. Benches clearing brawls in baseball are not new, but an umpire being the most physical one on the field certainly is. A football face mask was made to protect the wearer's eyes, nose, and teeth from the punishment it takes after the ball is snapped. But in the 2015 NFL preseason, it has a new purpose altogether: deflecting punches. Well, we were expecting lots of rain out here today. We didn't get any of that. What we did get was a lot of wind. 6 of the last 10 U.S. Open winners finished with a score of even par or worse. The U.S. Open is supposed to be a battle of attrition. It's supposed to be difficult. There was not a lot of good today. Only 6 players scored under par at Chambers Bay outside of Seattle, with many golfers just wishing Puget Sound would shut up. In 1999, Wellington native Brooks Koepka was just 8 years old. His father brought him to Augusta National Golf Club for the first time. 16 years later, a dream that was born that day has become a reality. These are high times for soccer in America. The men just beat the Netherlands and Germany on their home soil. The women are one of the favorites in the World Cup, and they just won their first game. And our government helped bring down the most nefarious villain in international soccer history. It's been great. The United States is still, though, not the world's leader in the world's most popular sport, but with fewer numbers of young players picking up football and baseball and more picking up soccer, the question may not be if America can catch up to the European countries, but when. And it is events like this that will keep growing the game. For years, Marshawn Lynch just refused to speak to the media, but after a $100,000 fine earlier this year, the Seahawks running back has started to talk, but is being even less cooperative. This is what everyone's talking about. This is The Skinny. Marshawn Lynch is one of the best running backs in the sport of football, but also in football, he's one of the worst sports.
How does your back feel, Marshawn?
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Yeah.
When Lynch does his post-game interviews, he either comes off like he's trying to teach an elementary school kid how to be polite.
That's it?
I said thanks for asking.
That's what you take us and talk about it.
No, I said thanks for asking.
Or he's setting the stage for a hip-hop career.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Reporters keep trying to get answers, and Lynch keeps getting more and more prickly.
Y'all gonna try again? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try one more time.
Yes, are you going to keep trying to score touchdowns? These reporters' job is to ask you questions. That's what they get paid to do. And it's the job of NFL players to speak to the media. Really, it's in the rule book. But a Seattle fan has created a petition to keep the NFL from making Lynch talk to reporters because he feels that's bullying. Lynch is making $8 million a year. Making him talk for 5 minutes after games is not asking him for the world. Oh, and by the way, I think I found the guy behind that petition.
Leave Brittany alone!
And that's The Skinny.
Well done.
And we want to know what you have to think about Marshawn Lynch. Should the NFL stop him from talking? Let us know on Twitter and Facebook. Just make sure you use the hashtag #LeaveMarshawnAlone.
He was always so happy.
He was a great kid.
He was always very respectful.
Jordan Spinato was not the most talented or skilled athlete at American Heritage High School, but in the state championship game in 2007, he had an opportunity to etch his name into Florida high school legend.
Jordan Spinato, a 5'8" senior who has not attempted a field goal all year.
It happened so fast. It was like, let's just give the kid a shot.
I thought the last thing in the world was going to happen. He was going to make a 43-yard field goal.
We were like, oh my God, what if he doesn't make it?
To win a title. The kick is up. The kick is good. It's good.
It's like the moment you just dream of.
One of the greatest endings of a football game like I've ever been a part of.
State championship on a kick. No, those are things that you see in books, and you hear those stories and those myths.
Most exciting moment of my life right now.
After graduation from American Heritage, Jordan bounced around. He took some community college classes, crashed on some sofas with friends, and even spent a year in California with family. He returned home in the summer of 2013, and that's when his family started to notice a change. The All-American kid with the great attitude was arrested. The charges were eventually dropped.
Then we realized he was really with kids he didn't belong to be hanging out with.
And normally we knew everybody.
And those new friends were introducing Jordan to a new world.
He was a mama's boy, and he always was, and it was hard to have that happen.
I didn't know that person. I didn't want him around my kids. I didn't even want to be in the same room as him. He was not my brother.
The Spinato family began to wonder if their son, who 5 years ago had experienced that ultimate sports high, was now trying to get that feeling from somewhere else.
I went in his room and I found like some tinfoil and stuff. Like I'm like, I don't know what this is, but Google really tells you everything.
When he looked at us in the face and we said, either you're gonna have to move out or go to rehab, you know, and he said, it's me and I need help.
Heroin is the fastest growing drug in America. Last month, the Center for Disease Control announced a 39% spike in heroin deaths from 2012 to 2013. Heroin is also one of the hardest drugs to kick. Rehab patients have a success rate of less than 20%.
We just kept saying, be that percentage that makes it.
You know, you read all of these horror stories, and I guess we were the horror story, you know? The worst happened.
Jordan spent 40 days in rehab. On his third day home, Claude and Kim walked in on something no parent should see.
He wasn't answering the door. And in the back of my mind, I think I knew. My husband had to take the doorknob off and open the door.
Fortunately, we found him in our home, but that's better than not finding him at all.
You know, he was a kid that you thought had it all, you know, had it all going for him.
I just want to die. Like, I mean, it's like the happiest moment. How could this kid, surrounded by all that love, how could this happen to him? It's like, just heart-wrenching. Like, my heart has a hole in it. I just want to relive that moment again.
A respectful, happy young man from a close family. If heroin can take down Jordan Spinato, it can take down anyone.
Oh, man. What a kick.
Spinato may have made the kick of his life, but he could not kick the one thing that took it.
You know, sitting with that family, you get the sense of pride that they still have in their son, you know, not just with that kick, but he was a soccer state champion. He was so popular. All of his senior class came to his house for their graduation party. He was a young man on his way to becoming someone. But, you know, Coach Bueno said in this interview, it's a hard, hard world. And it just caught up with Jordan Spinato.